Okay, here we go. Also, I rented this. Come on. Okay, I got this. You got this. Also, I rented this show. Hey everyone, so this is a continuation of my other video about my landscape photography exhibition. And today I kind of wanted to discuss what I would do differently the next time around. So I already rented a place next summer for 2 weeks instead of 1 week. And I thought this would be a good way to tell you guys what I learned from this one and what I would do differently. The first thing I would do is I would actually rent the place for a longer period. When I was there for 1 week, I kind of hoped that I had set up a 2-week exhibition or maybe even a month's exhibition. So actually doing it for longer can increases your chances of selling more prints, because you're there, the foot traffic is going to be different, the people that are going to passing by is going to be different, opportunity to make more sales is going to be different. So that's the first point that I would do. Second thing I would do different is I would actually do the opening. I had the opening on the first day of my setup. So I received the keys in the morning. I set up all my prints. I brought all the drinks, the food, and I had a 4-hour opening. But it took so much long time to actually hang the prints that I was half an hour late to the opening myself because I had to run home, take a shower, and come back. I didn't want to be there like all sweaty and stuff, and it was summer and it was hot. So I would actually do the opening on the following day rather than the first days you get the keys, because it gives you more time to set up and it gives people a chance to know that the opening is going to be there all day, so they can come, they can actually enjoy the show, they can have drinks, because everything is set up on that day. You pretty much, that's your main day to actually make some sales. And most people, they do their sales on the opening day, they do a little bit of sales after. In my case, this time around, I didn't make any sales on the opening, and I probably could have made sales had I had more time, because this kind of thing is not an easy decision to come by. If people are making a purchase, they want to think about it, they want to take their time with it. Sometimes they seem sure they know what they want, but sometimes it takes a little bit of time for them to kind of like it. So having a full day opening is better than a 4-hour opening, in my opinion. So that's another thing I would do different. The third thing I would do different is I would actually also consider doing, if I'm doing a 2-week show, it's a long period, I would do, instead of just the opening night, I would do a closing as well, which gives you a chance to make more sales on the closing, and you can actually promote that on all your social network, same way you promote the opening. You just have to plan ahead for these kind of things. So I would do an opening and a closing, and I think that can even generate more sales besides that. So you can probably even do like a small special on the clothing, where you can have like something to entice people to purchase the remainder prints. That's always a good idea. And I'm just trying to come up with, just share with you guys what I think would have been better. And another thing I would actually add that would be actually good is I would probably put smaller things to sell. I got this recommendation from Ian Miller from Shimura Design. He happened to be there on my opening, and he recommended, because he noticed the shirt on the wall, he said, "Why wasn't I selling some shirts?" Now I thought I had a pretty good setup, but having a few more shirts there for people to buy, if they can't afford a big print, or paying a lot of dollars for a print, they can buy a small thing to show their appreciation, to show their support. That's always good. You can sell even little cards of prints. I'd rather not do that because it kind of competes with the pictures. I'd rather just keep the pictures on their own. But having just shirts and different stuff if you have stuff like that can help promote you, you can sell those as well. People will probably be more likely to buy them, and they feel like they support you, and it brings you some income as well. The last thing I would say is really important fact is I would actually do a limited edition run. When I posted my images in the gallery, I put a little ticket underneath saying the name of the picture, where it was taken, and the price. It was pretty simple, but just having maybe do a limited run edition on all these prints, maybe like 1 of 10. So I was speaking to someone in the gallery who owned the gallery, and he said it'd be better to do that, and he's right. And I didn't think of it for this opening, for this show, but I think if you do a limited run of 10, you can actually charge a little bit more money, and you can actually, it makes the people feel like it's more value there for the prints, rather than just having not say anything, and you can probably print it 500 times. But if you sell 500 times, you're probably a good salesperson. But I'm just saying that having it limited to 10 or 20, whatever you decide on, the smaller it is, probably the more you can charge per print, because the more value it is. I'm gonna go with 10 for these images, and I think that's a good number, and I recommend it because it allows me to charge a little bit more. And you can, I think you can always set your price a little bit higher than what you want, because you can always come down, but going back up from down is not always a good approach, especially it kind of pisses people off. So I would set it high, and you can always come down. Plus, you don't want to set it too low if you're having a limited edition. When I was having my show, somebody passing by, he remarked that I sold the images too low, but that was his opinion. To some people, it might have been too high. So it's also subjective. But when you have a limited edition run, I would set it to the price you think it deserves, and based on the material you're printing it. And I would just keep it a little bit higher, and you can always come down if you find that it's too high. You know, this is the art of the negotiation, the art of the sale, right? You can always throw in 5% off or 10% off if you feel generous, you know. So I think that's a good way to do it. So these are the kind of things I thought I would share. And when doing a limited edition run, also it's kind of important to make them feel like it's more, that the value is real, you're not just lying. I would give them a certificate of authenticity. So I had these prepared myself, and I'm waiting on an embosser that was my name and everything. So eventually I'll be handing these out. Once I get everything set up, I'm gonna start handing these out with every sale I get, because it's gonna give them more value. I'll title the image, I'll number it, I'll emboss it, I'll sign it, so it's official that this is, like, let's say, print 5 out of 10. And once I sell all 10, hopefully, of each, I'll just have to shoot some new pictures and put them on a new run, you know. But it's kind of a good way to go about it, thinking wise in the future, because what you're gonna leave behind is most likely the prints. So people are gonna buy it for their value. They're just not gonna buy it because of your name, especially if you're beginning and you don't have a name yet. You're just gonna have to find value in other ways, you know. I'm not saying that you're not, even if you're just beginning and you don't think you have value, people are going to find the value in your work, and you should treat it very seriously, as if you are someone who's well known, because you're going to get there eventually. You just have to keep at it. Also, the gallery I rented for this exhibition, I had rented it for a week because there was only 1 week available. But the next summer in 2019, I had rented it for 2 weeks. And I think that got me thinking as well. Instead of just doing it in one location in the city, in one gallery, I'm looking at other galleries to do kind of a longer show. There will be maybe a month total or 2 months. And what I would do, I would just rent 4 galleries or 3 galleries all around the city, different locations, so different clientele, different people. And I would just set up 2 weeks there, and I would set up 2 weeks right after in a different location, 2 weeks in another location. And I would just move around the show, because the prints are very portable. You put them in your car, you can switch venues right away the same day. You finish the show in this location, I move to another location that could have different appeals. Now, I have no idea how this is gonna work. I think it might be better, because I noticed one thing during my show is all the people that bought the picture, most of them were not locals, they were tourists. So setting up in a place where I get a mix of the two is good, but setting up a place where you get a lot more tourists, they might be more inclined to buy a picture if they were just had a story to tell. Maybe they liked it, they have the time pressure. So it helps you even generate sales being in a more touristy area, in my opinion, than a local area. But you need the two. So that's why I rented the same gallery, but I'm also looking for other galleries in different locations to do a longer show. You know, maybe even further away. I mean, you can expand on this idea. You can do it in another city, for example, if it works. Nothing is stopping you. You just need to have the willpower, get in your car, put the prints in, and just drive off, So for me, it was actually very feasible to do this. So I didn't have that set up, but next time around, that's what I would do. So that's kind of it for everything that I would do different. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a few more ideas developing the more I think about it down the line. But for now, that's what my experience was, and that's what I would do different. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time. See you.